Welcome back to our podcast channel where old film reels are rewound. Not just to reminisce about special effects or plot lines, but to reflect on the human destinies that once graced the silver screen. Today, let's travel back in time to 1995. Back then, the pounding, mesmerizing techno beats of Mortal Kombat rang out, creating a global craze and turning a violent fighting game into a pop culture phenomenon. The film was not only a commercial success, paving the way for video game adaptations, but it also etched the image of brave warriors protecting the Earthrealm into the memories of the 80s and 90s generations. Yet 30 years have passed. When these studio lights faded, those warriors from years past had to face the real battles of life. Battles with no referees and no continues. Some found peace while others fell in tragedy. Right now, let's turn the pages of their lives. John Fujioka as Grandmaster. Let us begin our story with the eldest member, the man who served as the spiritual lighthouse of the entire film, John Fujioka, in the role of the Grandmaster in Mortal Kombat. Though his screen time was brief, the image of the majestic Grandmaster in traditional robes with his thoughtful eyes and calm demeanor created a necessary pause amidst the violent brawls. He was the embodiment of wisdom, the one who instilled faith and guided the young warriors. At the age of 70, when he joined the film, Fujioka's acting needed no fanfare. His stillness and ethereal aura were his most powerful strengths, convincing the audience that behind this bloody tournament lay a profound martial arts philosophy. Born in 1925 in Hawaii, John Fujioka was a veteran Japanese-American actor who spent his life dedicated to the arts and breaking stereotypes about Asians on the Hollywood screen. After Mortal Kombat, he remained a respected figure, a towering tree that young actors looked up to. However, contrary to his stern appearance on film, Fujioka's daily life was a colorful picture of romance and refinement. He was an introverted but sincere man who found joy in tending to roses, practicing the Japanese art of ikebana flower arrangement, or immersing himself in meditation and yoga. Even in his 60s, he persisted in participating in dozens of marathons, a testament to an incredibly resilient vitality. Most notably, John Fujioka's private life was a beautiful and serene love song. He was openly gay and gave his whole heart to his partner, Gerald Lentis. Their love lasted for decades, enduring and quiet just like the man himself. Without noise or show, they stayed together through ups and downs, growing old together amidst fragrant rose gardens and the peace of twilight years. A solid career and a scandal-free life brought him a respectable fortune, but the greatest legacy he left behind was the example of an artist living true to his identity. It seemed the role of the wise Grandmaster had truly woven itself into his life, as he always maintained inner tranquility amidst a chaotic Hollywood. However, the laws of birth, aging, sickness, and death spare no one, not even the wisest masters. The nearly century-long journey of this talented artist came to a close on December 13th. 2018, John Fujioka took his final breath in Los Angeles at the age of 93 due to a stroke brought on by old age. His passing was as gentle as a leaf falling to its roots after more than 50 years of tireless dedication, leaving fans with infinite regret for a monument of calmness and benevolence. Trevor Goddard as Kano. If John Fujioka represented stillness, then Trevor Goddard, who played Kano, was the embodiment of explosiveness and wilderness. In Mortal Kombat, Kano was a brutal assassin with a glowing red metal eye, an arrogant smile, and vicious strikes. At the age of 32, Trevor Goddard breathed such intense life into this character that he actually redefined the image of Kano in subsequent video game versions. His thick Australian accent, devil-may-care attitude, and charming insolence made Kano one of the most beloved villains of the 90s. Audiences believed he was truly a bad boy who had stepped out of the underworld. However, Trevor Goddard's real life was a script far more complex than what the audience saw. Born in London, England, to survive and stand out in the harsh Hollywood environment, he fabricated a perfect cover, a boxer from Perth, Australia. Goddard lived this role even off-screen, turning that harmless lie into a ticket to fame. After the success of Mortal Kombat, his career made significant strides with roles in Men of War and Deep Rising. He continued to be trusted with the role of a villainous sailor in the blockbuster Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, promising a bright future ahead. But behind the arrogant smile on screen and the tough exterior of a fighter was a soul full of wounds and cracks. Goddard's marriage was teetering on the brink of collapse, with divorce papers pending, plunging him deep into loneliness and despair. The pressure of maintaining fame, the pain of a broken family, and the temptation of stimulants gradually pushed him into a dead end. A net worth of $1 million or fame from action roles could not fill the void in the soul of this lost man. The brutal role of Kano seemed to mask a vulnerable Trevor Goddard who was screaming in silence. And then tragedy struck, ending all promises of a rising action star. On June 7, 2003, Trevor Goddard was found dead at his home in North Hollywood at the age of just 40. The cause of death was determined to be an overdose of a mixture of drugs including heroin, cocaine, and sedatives. His sudden passing was a major shock, peeling back the velvet curtain of glamour to reveal the tragic dark corner of fame. He departed, taking with him the truth about his origins, leaving a void that no one could fill in the hearts of those who loved 90s action cinema. Lloyd Kino as Liu Kang's grandfather. In the hero's journey, a guide and a solid spiritual anchor are always needed. For Mortal Kombat, that role belonged to Lloyd Kino, Liu Kang's kind-hearted grandfather. Although he appeared in only a few brief scenes at the age of 76, Lloyd Kino successfully portrayed an elder with deep Asian character, strict but tolerant, profound and full of love. His eyes, when looking at his grandson preparing to enter a life-and-death battle, contained both anxiety and hope, becoming an emotional anchor that helped the audience understand the protagonist's origins and motivations. Lloyd Kino, born Lloyd Hiroya Kinoshita in 1919, was a historical witness to American film and television. His career spanned more than 6 decades, enduring and quiet like water flowing under a bridge. Without needing loud leading roles, he became a familiar face through a series of valuable, supporting roles in hits like Godzilla 1998 or The Cable Guy 1996. He was often cast as learned professors or wise elders, roles requiring experience and an aura that only time could forge. In real life, he was a private man, shying away from all the glitz and gossip of the entertainment industry. He found joy with his family, maintaining a pure and simple lifestyle, true to the demeanor of the characters he portrayed. Lloyd Kino's career is proof that one does not need to be the brightest star to shine. With assets accumulated from diligent artistic labor, he lived a peaceful life untainted by scandal, respected by colleagues and loved by his family. The role of the grandfather in the film seemed to be the truest reflection of the man himself, a peaceful harbor, a silent keeper of the flame. The connection between him and the character lay not in the dialogue, but in the heart he put into every look and gesture. That proud artistic journey and simple life closed gently, like a midday nap. On July 21st, 2012, Lloyd Kino passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 93. The cause of death was old age. He departed in the arms of his loved ones, leaving behind a legacy of elegance, composure, and a career of ceaseless dedication until his final days. Robin Shou as Liu Kang, the center of Mortal Kombat. The soul of the entire film was Robin Shou, also known as Robin Cho, or Cho Wanpore in some records. Taking on the role of Liu Kang at the age of 35, Robin Shou brought to the screen a perfect Shaolin warrior, upright, burdened with the pain of loss, yet boiling with the will for revenge and the protection of humanity. With superb martial arts skills and internalized acting, he did not just fight, he conveyed the spirit of an Eastern hero, making Liu Kang an irreplaceable icon in the hearts of fans for the past 3 decades. Born in 1960 in Hong Kong, Robin Shou's journey from a stuntman in the fragrant harbor to a Hollywood action star is a story of extraordinary effort. Culture shock and the harshness of the cinema capital did not deter him. On the contrary, He firmly refused stereotypical villain roles reserved for Asians, fighting tirelessly to assert his position. After the aura of Mortal Kombat, he continued to make his mark in the Death Race series and became one of the most prestigious directors and martial arts coordinators, training top stars like Mila Jovovich. Unlike his intensity on film, Robin Shou's private life is extremely private and peaceful. He is a family man, rarely appearing in the press with scandalous rumors. Becoming a father at a later age brought him new and profound experiences, making him cherish moments with his wife and children even more. His transition from an action star to a role behind the camera also shows his vision and adaptability to the flow of time. In Robin Shou, we see the intersection of a resilient warrior and a humble artist who always knows who he is and what he needs. Today, in 2025, at the age of 64, Robin Shou has not stopped. Although he no longer appears regularly in leading roles on the silver screen, he remains a towering figure in the film industry. A teacher and a powerful producer with an estimated net worth of $8 million. His journey is vivid proof that a hero does not only win in the arena, but can also win in life through perseverance, integrity, and love. Christopher Lambert as Raiden. If Liu Kang was the soul, then Raiden was the authority of Mortal Kombat. The role of the Thunder God protecting the Earth realm was given to Christopher Lambert, the French-American actor. Then 38 years old, with platinum hair, bright, mesmerizing eyes, and a mysterious smile. Lambert created a Raiden who was divine and ethereal, yet also very human with subtle wit. Although not a real martial artist, his star quality filled the screen, making viewers believe this was truly a god guiding humanity. Born in 1957, Christopher Lambert was already an international star before coming to Mortal Kombat. Thanks to his immortal role in Highlander, however, few know that behind those divine eyes lay an ironic truth. He suffered from severe myopia. Taking off his glasses to act left him almost blind, but that very defect created Raiden's characteristic dreamy, deep gaze. His life was also a roller coaster of emotions. His short marriage to Diane Lane or his quiet romance with Sophie Marceau left sad notes. However, Lambert never let emotional breakdowns or vision limitations hinder his career. He continued to dedicate himself diligently from action blockbusters to profound art films of French cinema. Lambert's career had periods of stagnation, but it never extinguished. He knew how to reinvent himself, unafraid to try his hand at independent film projects or voice acting for video games. He exudes the beauty of a romantic artist who does not chase fleeting fame, but seeks meaning in every role. Raiden protected Earth, and Lambert protected his own passion for art against the harsh elimination of time. Currently in 2025, Christopher Lambert has turned 68. Although the glory of his peak has receded, he remains persistently active in the entertainment industry, participating in film festivals and sci-fi projects. With a net worth of $5 million and a free-spirited life, the Thunder God of yesteryear is enjoying his twilight years to the fullest, continuing to be an inspiration for resilience in overcoming adversity to shine. Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung. Without a great villain, there can be no great hero. And Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa created a Shang Tsung classic enough to haunt. At age 45, his sharp eyes, commanding voice, and the line, "Your soul is mine," became a sweet nightmare for millions of viewers. Tagawa didn't just act. He lived in the character, turning the soul-sucking sorcerer into a villainous monument that is hard to surpass. Born in Japan and raised in a multicultural environment, Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa possesses incredible inner depth. His career is linked to villainous roles, but he always sought to breathe humanity and complexity into them. However, the most surprising thing lies in his spiritual journey in real life. In complete contrast to the evil Shang Tsung, Tagawa is a devout and benevolent man. In 2015, he surprised the world by converting to the Russian Orthodox Church, taking the baptismal name Panteleimon, and even becoming a Russian citizen. From a soul stealer on screen, he became a healer of souls in real life. He devotes much of his time to religious activities, seeking peace and spreading positive values. This transformation is proof that a role does not define a person. but a person uses the role to contemplate life. A net worth of $5 million and a glorious career did not make him arrogant. On the contrary, he became increasingly humble and profound. In 2025, Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa is 74 years old. He maintains a stable acting form while voicing Shang Tsung himself in new game titles as a way of paying tribute to the past. The journey from a screen villain to the devout man, Pantalaimon, is a beautiful story of redemption and finding one's true self, making the audience respect this talented artist even more. Peter Jason as Master Boyd. In the illusions Shang Tsung created to trick Johnny Cage, the image of Master Boyd, played by Peter Jason, appeared full of majesty. Although it was only a small role, a storytelling device, Peter Jason, with the seasoned experience of a character actor specializing in supporting roles, brought the necessary weight to the character he represented, disciplined the traditional martial arts values that the protagonist sought. Peter Jason was a familiar face to audiences through more than 200 films, especially in the works of director John Carpenter. His career did not have dazzling peaks, but it was durable and solid like a rock. He dedicated his whole life to art, from the stage to the big screen, from police officers and cowboys to strict teachers. His private life was also peaceful, with a marriage lasting more than 40 years, a rarity in Hollywood. He lived and worked with respectable dedication and professionalism. However, earlier this year, specifically on February 20th, 2025, Peter Jason took his final breath in West Hollywood following a battle with cancer at the age of 80. His passing was the goodbye of a golden generation of actors, those who silently built the foundation for cinema with their talent and diligence. He departed, leaving behind a massive fortune of roles and lessons in humility. Talisa Soto as Kitana. Amidst the fierce battles, the appearance of Princess Kitana, played by Talisa Soto, was like a cool breeze, but also full of sharpness. At the age of 28, her seductive Asian Latin beauty and sad eyes perfectly portrayed the pain and contradiction of a princess forced to live under the enemy's thumb. Soto's Kitana was not only beautiful, but also strong and decisive, with her deadly steel fans becoming a captivating icon of female power in the 90s. Talisa Soto began her career as a top model, appearing on the cover of Vogue, and as a sexy Bond girl. However, behind the halo of the runway and the silver screen, Talisa always yearned for a simple life. After an unfulfilled first marriage, she found her life's anchor with actor Benjamin Bratt. Her decision to leave Hollywood, while at the peak of her beauty, to retreat to being a wife and mother, shows that Talisa cherishes family values more than any fame. Her life seemed like a peaceful fairy tale, but challenges struck. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Talisa faced a breast cancer diagnosis. But like the resilient Kitana on screen, she fought the disease with extraordinary courage and optimism. Fortunately, she defeated death, fully recovering to continue enjoying happiness with her husband and 2 children. Currently at age 57, Talisa Soto has completely retired, living a private but fulfilled life with a net worth of $7 million. Although she no longer appears under the spotlight, the beauty and aura of the Kitana of yesteryear remain forever in the audience's memory. She chose to shine in a different way, shining in the role of the keeper of her home's flame. Lyndon Ashby as Johnny Cage. Bringing laughter and charm to Mortal Kombat was Lyndon Ashby in the role of Johnny Cage. At 35, Ashby brilliantly embodied the arrogant movie superstar who joined the tournament just to prove he wasn't a fake. But then, through each battle, Johnny Cage transformed into a true warrior. Ashby's sharp lines, the famous groin punch, and his smirk perfectly balanced the action and entertainment elements, making Johnny Cage one of the most interesting characters in the film. Lyndon Ashby, born in 1960, is a prime example of endurance and professionalism. Few know that behind Johnny Cage's confident exterior was an actor who struggled with panic attacks every time he auditioned. But it was his karate background, trained since childhood, that helped him overcome fear, forging a steely will to survive in the profession, not letting himself be typecast after the success of Mortal Kombat. Ashby made a spectacular transition, becoming Sheriff Noah Stalinsky in the hit series Teen Wolf, conquering a new generation of young audiences. Lyndon Ashby's real life is the complete opposite of Johnny Cage's complex romantic history. He has a dreamlike marriage to actress Susan Walters. Meeting in 1983, they built a happy home together with 2 daughters, becoming one of Hollywood's rare, enduring couples. No scandals, no noise. Ashby chose a quiet life, rooting himself in family. A stable career and a fulfilled life are the worthy rewards for an artist who always chose depth over surface. By 2025, at the age of 64, Lyndon Ashby is still as energetic as ever. He recently received a Daytime Emmy nomination for his return in The Young and the Restless, and continues to appear in major Netflix projects. Johnny Cage fought for honor on film, while Lyndon Ashby fights for the love of art and family in real life, and clearly he is the winner on both fronts. Bridget Wilson Sampras as Sonya Blade. The remaining female piece of the hero trio was Sonya Blade, the courageous special agent played by Bridget Wilson. At 22, with a background as Miss Teen USA, many doubted her abilities. But Bridget shattered all prejudices with aggressive action sequences, performing dangerous stunts herself, without a double. Her Sonya Blade was the embodiment of toughness, independence, and loyalty. A girl who didn't need protection but stood up to protect her teammates. After Mortal Kombat, Bridget continued to achieve success with many hit films. However, like Talisa Soto, she also chose family as her top priority. The love at first sight story between her and tennis legend Pete Sampras is one of the most beautiful anecdotes in the entertainment industry. Marrying after only 9 months of dating, they built a model family together, staying away from all gossip. Bridget stepped back, becoming a solid support system for her husband and children, enjoying a peaceful life in California. But fate seemed to want to test the mettle of this female warrior once again. In late 2022, the news that she was suffering from ovarian cancer shocked fans. The terrible disease came unexpectedly, but with the spirit of Sonya Blade, Bridget is facing it resiliently in the loving arms and absolute support of her husband and children. In 2025, Bridget Wilson turns 52. Although she is going through the most difficult period of her health, she maintains her faith and optimism. Her journey from a beauty queen and action star to a mother and wife resiliently, fighting illness, always strongly inspires us about the inner strength of a woman.